Hi, it's me, and today I'm going to give you a tour of the children's library that we have in my house. I've always loved books, and both of my parents loved books, and I grew up in a house that treated books with tremendous respect. One of the things I do as an adult is when I go to used bookstores, or really any bookstore, I look for books that I remember as a child that I don't yet have in my library so that my children can experience them too. So as you can see, the library is organized by color and by type. This is just the kind of person I am, and I seem to have two children who also share my desire for organization. What's interesting about this library of children's books being color coordinated is that my oldest son is actually red-green colorblind, so it presents a little bit of a challenge in certain areas for him to help organize. Some people might think it's cruel to organize things by color in a house with a child who's colorblind, but he actually appreciates learning about the shades that he can see and the ones that he can't, and he's just so darn organized that he likes being part of this process too. I'm going to show you some of my favorites. Let's start on the bottom shelf. Okay. This book is one of the first books I remember ever having. It's copywritten in 1975, which is the year I was born, and it's called How We're Born, How We Grow, How Our Bodies Work, and How We Learn. And basically it takes you through the entire experience of being human, what it's like to grow through the years that you are a child. I remember being pretty much near all of these ages and learning what I had to look forward to, or learning like, oh, at 15, girls' breasts and hips are quite developed and boys' shoulders are broader. Other things did interest me, like why do we sneeze? I always turned to that page. One of my favorite books when I was a child was a book with no words. It's called Dolly's Mansion. I don't even think it has a copyright. I think it's a reproduction of a Victorian book, but all it was this little portrait of like a Victorian household. And I just loved it. This was my father's favorite book when he was a child. It was published in 1946. My dad would have been 4 years old, and it's called The Chirkendoose. And it is about an egg in like a hen house at a farm that is sat on by a chicken, a turkey, a duck, and a goose. And when this egg hatches, the creature is a little bit of everything. And the book is about how everybody on the farm teases him because he's a mix-up of all these different things. But he shows them that he has special qualities, and he's a good singer and he's a good dancer. And there's even a little song that my mom used to sing me, but this was my dad's favorite book, and there it is, The Chirkendoose. What I've heard is that it's universally accepted that one of the best things you can do for children, with children, is to read with them. And I'm not always an on-target, on-task mom. I'm very, very imperfect, but one of the things I always try and do is return to this bookcase. And depending on everybody's mood, or if we've had a rough day, there's always a book to find in this library that can teach a lesson or try and make the day better. I have some books that when I read them, my kids laugh and laugh and laugh. So if we've had a particularly stressful day, I can pull that out. It's great having a library that has a book for every mood. So that is our children's library.